The 1930s, a decade etched in history marked by profound change and turmoil. The world plunged into an economic abyss, a sudden and devastating collapse. This was the Great Depression, a period of unprecedented hardship. Millions found themselves jobless, homeless, and hopeless, struggling to survive. The United States, once a symbol of prosperity, was hit hardest by this economic catastrophe. The very fabric of society seemed to unravel, with widespread social unrest and despair. From bustling city streets to rural farmlands, hardship became the norm, affecting every corner of the nation. The Great Depression was not just an economic downturn, it was a profound human tragedy. Families were torn apart and communities were left in ruins, begging for food and shelter. Understanding its causes is crucial, for it serves as a stark reminder of the fragility of our economic systems and the human cost of financial collapse. October 29, 1929, Black Tuesday, the day the stock market crashed. It marked the beginning of the Great Depression. Share prices plummeted, panic selling gripped investors, fortunes vanished overnight. The roaring 20s came to a screeching halt. The crash exposed underlying weaknesses in the economy. Over-speculation, excessive credit, and a lack of regulation had created a bubble. When the bubble burst, the consequences were devastating. The stock market crash triggered a chain reaction. Banks, heavily invested in the market, faced massive losses. People panicked, rushing to withdraw their savings. Unable to meet the demand, banks began to fail. Thousands of banks across the country shut their doors. Depositors lost their life savings. Businesses collapsed. The collapse of the banking system had a crippling effect on the economy. Credit froze, businesses couldn't borrow, and investment plummeted. The downward spiral continued. Dust storms and despair. The Great Depression was not confined to cities. Urban areas were hit hard, but the rural regions faced an equally devastating crisis. Rural America faced its own crisis. The heartland of the country, once thriving with agricultural prosperity, was now struggling to survive. Years of drought turned fertile farmlands into a dust bowl. The once lush fields were now barren, covered in layers of dust. Crops withered, livestock perished, and farmers faced ruin. The land that once provided sustenance now offered nothing but despair. The Dust Bowl, as it came to be known, forced millions of farmers to abandon their homes. Entire communities were uprooted, leaving behind ghost towns. They became migrants, desperately searching for work and a better life. Families packed their belongings and set out on uncertain journeys. The plight of the farmers added to the growing misery of the Great Depression. Makeshift camps became their new homes, filled with uncertainty and hardship. It highlighted the interconnectedness of the economy and the environment. The Dust Bowl was a stark reminder of how fragile our existence can be when nature turns against us. A global crisis. The Great Depression was not limited to the United States. It was a global crisis. Countries around the world felt its impact. International trade collapsed as countries imposed protectionist policies. This further exacerbated the economic downturn. The Great Depression had a profound impact on international relations. It fueled political instability, nationalism, and ultimately contributed to the outbreak of World War II. Lessons from the abyss. The Great Depression was a complex crisis with multiple causes. The stock market crash, bank failures, reduced consumer spending, and widespread unemployment created a domino effect that crippled the economy. The Dust Bowl, a severe drought that devastated the Great Plains, compounded the economic woes by displacing thousands of farming families and turning fertile land into a wasteland. It was a perfect storm of economic and environmental factors, each exacerbating the other, leading to unprecedented hardship. The interconnectedness of these factors magnified the crisis and prolonged its impact, creating a vicious cycle that was difficult to break. The Great Depression serves as a stark reminder of the importance of economic stability, social safety nets, and environmental sustainability. Government interventions, such as the New Deal, were crucial in providing relief and recovery. It is a lesson we cannot afford to forget. Understanding the past helps us prepare for the future, ensuring that we build a more resilient and equitable society.